Uganda. Twabadde wano olunaku lwajjo mu meeting ne tukkaanya nti ku mulundi guno tusigalamu tutunulira ensonga nga bwe zigenda okukola ki okutambula bannaffe abali ku legal committee olwedde ne bakola ne minority report nga twatuwuliziganya nabo ne batubuulira nti waliwo ebitatambudde bulungi kati tutuuse wano n'ensonga tennaba kutandika batugamba tukole ki tufulume ze ensobi zennyini ze twakolanga ku mwanya ekyo kitegeeza tugamba bannaffe bali nti waliwo abalagira naye nga naffe bali waba balagira nga ate wabaawo neno agamba nti tufulume ebintu biteekawo buyisi bwe tuba tugamba nti tetutalina mulimu gwe tusobola kukola mu paalamenti wano lwaki paalamenti tetugivaamu ddiro tuba tugiviiremu ddala omulundi gwekyo nakyo kive mu kino kiva mu ddiro otherwise kiyitiridde tosobola kutuuza babakawo n'obagamba nti leero tusigala mu tolina gwe waalabyeko ate n'obagamba nti musituke mukole ki mufulume tunaabiranga mu katemba wa kika ki.
We did hear the government chief whip who said something very interesting, political or otherwise. He represents government, and one of these bills, the most controversial one, was a government bill, the UPDF amendment bill. He said, for us, we have decided that this bill is going to be passed in its form, in its shape, as it is. So, government, why did you then bring that bill to Parliament? If you wanted to pass it, why did you not just decree, like Idi Amin Dada used to do? Decree and say this is law. Because when you bring the bill to Parliament, that means you're going to subject it to scrutiny of members of Parliament, of committees, and different stakeholders. But they were saying, no, for us, we have decided it will pass as is. Meaning even the input of committees and other stakeholders was disregarded totally. We said, let's go to the House and raise this matter again, because that's our platform. And we said we are not going to make it easy for them. So this morning, we went to the House, and as you saw, I did raise this matter for the umpteenth time to say, Madam Speaker, can we proceed within the law? You cannot bring reports when there's not been time for consultation. That means they are reports of just a few people. We also got information that the majority committee report of the Joint Committee must have been generated. We don't know whether it be from State House or wherever, but members were just called to sign because yesterday they left the hotel where they were. Before the report was worked on, they went to State House in Entebbe. They did not return to the hotel where they were processing together as a joint committee. Even for our colleagues to be able to have their minority view heard, to say, okay, now this is what we have processed as a joint committee, but we are disagreeing. They did not go back to the hotel. Instead, this morning, we understand they were just called and said, you come and sign. Where? Parliament or whatever. So they were just coming to append their signature. That means even the committee process did not end as it should have. Because that's how you produce committees. I mean, committee reports. You sit, agree, disagree, produce either one report or multiple reports. But they ran away and they did not go back. We have made our case. We have made every effort to try and appeal to the reason of the Speaker, and she has failed. So we said, no, we are not going to be part of sanitizing a sham process. We chose to leave them to continue with their sham process, and we have taken a decision that we are going to court over these matters because we have adequate grounds. One, of course, Article 92 of the Constitution is being flouted. The decision of the Supreme Court is being disregarded. But two, there was no consultation. And you see, these people are not smart. Even when you want to do something, you have an end in mind. At least you consult. Listen to the various views of different stakeholders. Then you can disagree with them. But first listen to them. They did not want to do that. I mean, in the past we have been part of bills which we disagree with and so on, but we remain up to the very end, put out our minorities and so on, and then we say, okay, the majority have had their way, but the minority have had their say. In this case, they did not even want the minority to have their say. That's why we said we will not be part of that sham process. So we are going to court to raise these grounds. One, we are telling court, government and parliament for that matter is in contempt of a decision of court, the Supreme Court at that. Number two, due process was not followed. There was no consultation. Even the way the majority committee report was arrived at, it was sham. And that's the matter. We want to take this matter to court and put the courts to the test. And we are glad that sometimes when the courts are put to the test, they do come out, like they did in the matter, this very matter. Because the matter went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said no, civilians should not be taken to military courts. We are hoping that the courts will speak out again in defense of their space. And of course we know that there's different stakeholders that have hinted on a possibility of going to court, whether it be civil society organizations and others. We'll connect with them. We'll connect with them so that we get to have a joint suit and be able to put this matter to the test.
Ebiragiro bino byabadde very clear, byabadde bwebiti kanjogere ku nama.
Uganda byogere.
Yogere ku byamakati.
Tuyitiridde opposition okubeera predictable. Nga buli kye tunaakola tukyogera bali ne basula nga bakimanyi. Ekigendererwa kyaffe kyabadde kyakufuluma palamenti. Tuleke abantu bano beeyonoone bokka. Naye ne tugamba nti bwe tugamba nti temujja, Namboze n'asigala e Mukono, Mpuuga n'asigala e Masaka, Sseggona n'asigala e Busiro, gundi n'asigala e Gindi.
Tekijja kuvaayo bulungi.
Ekifaananyi tekijja kuvaayo. Ate bwe tukyogera eggulo limu mbufe enkya tetujja kujja.
Basula bantu bategedde.
Basula bakola. Balyoke batandike okuyita mu b'omwoyo omutono babagambe mbu wamma ggwe jjangu. Okiwulidde? Ne tugamba omujaasi omutendeke tayogera kuba omwana ayita kuba kugoba yakuwa amagezi nti ab'emmanga nkola ki? Nzija. Kaakano ow'ekitiibwa tumala omubriefinga ffe ababaddeyo eri tugamba nti tetujja kubeera paati ya kino. Naffe abaliyo eri tujja kuwandiika lipoota bannansi.
Mu briefing ani?
Eno ya bannansi.
Oyina kugamba nti ow'ekitiibwa tumubriefing.
Ow'ekitiibwa LOP, Leader of Opposition, tumubriefinga tumugamba eno kiri bwe kiti ne bwe kiti. Bannaffe batulesewo bagenze mu State House ate baabano batwepena. Tuwandiikeyo lipooti eyammwe abaliyo 13. Tufunyeeko ab'NRM aba
babiri
abatusemba. Eyo ya bannansi era nkubuulira gwe ate kati ow'ekitiibwa jagamba mbyogedde. Naye eno lipooti eno gy'olaba tugitwala mu bantu. Joyita minority report etuganya okutuulamu tugitwala mu bantu nga tutandikira mu constituencies zaffe. Ojja kunsonyiwa Mukuluse Ennyonyi. Kakati kuba musajja ono Kayongo gwe njogeza erinnya. Tetuli supposed kwogera lutalo lwaffe engeri gye lugenda kukola ki? Kutambula. Nekyegamba bwe kiti tuwandiike lipooti eyo ya bannansi okutegeera ensonga bwe twalabye etteeka lino. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri tugambe nti tujja kujja era n'okujja tukole ki? Tujje tubuulire nga tukozesa loopu, tubuulire mukyala Anite biki bye tulabye ebikyamu kigende ku likodi. Olw'okuba nti nno ffenna tujja kubaamu mu house tufulume wamu tulyoke twogere eri abaki ab'amawulire nga tumaze n'okukola meeting ey'okubiri. Naye mulujjudde nti bano tubagambye nti enkya tuli nammwe. Era bugenze okukeera ku makya nga tuli butoola naki?
Era mbalabye.
Okujjako ffe ababadde baasuze eri Munyonyo. Ng'era ffe Munyonyo tusigaddeyo olwo tuwandiika lipoota eno. Olw'abannaffe tugamba nti ffe tetukyazze kukola lipoota, ffe twamaliriza dda nammwe muwandiike eyammwe.